This is Dabu7. For those that missed it, just put out a video over on the other channel in regards to big pyramids and mounds that were right here in North America. Massive. And you're talking about a city that had 30,000 people at its time. That's larger than London or Paris at the time. And look at London and Paris today. They're still carrying on life, sprawling. You have to ask what happened to this massive city. If it was larger than those two cities, it's just vanished. And in school, they want to erase things from the history books. They want to start with Columbus, getting here in 1492. But everything that happened before then, they don't want to teach. You have to go out and try to find that information for yourself. Where recently, we had Buzz Aldrin go to Antarctica. This is on the heels of John Kerry dipping off down to the same place all of a sudden during the election. And Buzz Aldrin getting, airlifted out of there, and then this tweet being put out, which was disinformation. And I think that it was designed this way to try to plant the seed in people's minds that everything having to do with anything hidden in Antarctica is fake or a lie. Now, as watchers had talked about live the other night, this was not from the official account. And right out the gate, that was the first thing. It showed that this was fake. Now, as far as the images and everything else, we've seen a lot of the images coming out of Antarctica showing these mysterious places. But as far as the Twitter account, the Buzz Aldrin Twitter account, it was fake. So you have to ask yourself, why are all these pyramid-shaped structures sitting down here in Antarctica? This is an area they say long ago was a lush jungle. And when looking at all these images, and you'll see many out there that show some of the mysterious peaks that are in a most perfect pyramid shape, it raises a lot of questions. Then you come across these. And when I first witnessed some of these images, I thought that this whole thing was fake. Because I saw this one and thought that it was Photoshopped. And I'm like, wow, look at, they just put the step pyramid right there in the background. You could tell it's Photoshopped. But then I went digging, and there it was. In multiple shots. In one here with the reflection in the water. It is sitting there among many of the other spots that are sitting there that you can see from satellite that are perfect pyramid structure, giving off a perfect pyramid shadow, and this just being one of many. So I wanted to point out that it seems like they often do. Pull up another shot here. You can see it in the background of the station there. And there's a lot of other images where they've taken shots like this one here, and many more that you'll see scrolling down through here, that they have gone like out of their way to not include this, like not from the other angle. But you can see here, you can see the station sitting right there, the windmills right there at the base of this massive thing, and it's there. So this isn't the only one, is the thing. And of all the places across all of Antarctica that they could have chose to set up shop, it was right next to this thing. You wonder why? Come on, guys. They are researching, continuing what I believe Hitler was on a quest of doing and trying to find. And it's well documented. And if you look at the history, seriously, at what happened, what took place, and look at all these other images, they will not show it. Very few. When you find the ones that do, though, it's there. So, what's really going on down here? This is an area that the United States has no jurisdiction. All the different countries are flying their flag and going there, similar to them surrounding this area and the ocean around the northern spot. This is where Admiral Byrd went and had his encounter with these aircraft, these disc-shaped aircraft that had swastikas on them. That was one of the most striking details of him explaining everything that happened. When you look at Antarctica and the battle that went down there militarily between the United States and the German aircraft, these disc-shaped aircraft connected to the Vril Society, a very real thing, they had a battle, and the United States lost that battle. But here on the world stage, it looked like they try to play it out in the history books that, Hitler was killed inside of the bunker and this and that did not happen. He was on a quest. He went to the Tibetan monks, asking them for knowledge of what's going on. And they told him of all these places to go and look. Mesopotamia, ancient Iraq, that's one. Antarctica, another. Other places that he visited. It's documented on this quest to find it. And now, here in this big continent of Antarctica, you have all these countries stationed down here, none of them battling over the turf whatsoever. Ever since that battle. And this is where they said this was their new base for the new Reich, basically, the Germans. And if you look at what happened, what did the United States do? All the intelligence of Germany and the United States came together. And they basically brought every single top-level German scientist to the United States. And they did so in a well-documented operation called Operation Paperclip. All of this happening and them getting their hands on this technology and them continuing this mission. And I believe that this is why they went to war, the whole thing with Iraq, this whole thing over oil and all that. That's just a facade, just like them printing up as much money, paper money, as they want. It's a control thing. If you look at what they said about the pyramids globally, I mean, look at the fire line. Look at the one line across the planet where all these monuments sit. All connected. What are the odds of that? They knew this. Connecting into the energy ley lines of the planet, with these pyramids serving as big power stations along the lines of them when set up the right way. Some of them, especially the ones that were plated like the ones that were in Egypt. And they even depict lighting going through them, drawn on the walls. This is why you can see choppers, helicopters, aircraft inscribed on the walls of pyramids. All of this stuff was known. And apparently, it seems to me like some of this technology is been buried. And even stories say the same thing goes for Afghanistan, in the mountains of Afghanistan. And you wonder why we've been there. And it's not only to do with the poppy fields and everything else. There's always more to it. This quest for ancient technology is above all at this point. That's what they're after. And that's where it sits. So when I see stories like this get pumped out in regards to Buzz Aldrin, and it gets spread far and wide, and all people had to simply do was check and see if it really came from his official account to begin with, that could have stopped everything from being pushed any further. But it's like nobody cared, nobody did it. It got pushed out there, and in the minds of a lot of people at this point, they're going to look into it now, seeing that it's fake, because that's all some are going to say, is just that it's fake. And they're going to think that every real story and bit of information that comes out of Antarctica is going to be fake as well. They've planted the seed there. When in reality, these places are very real. Very real. Perfect pyramid-shaped structures sitting down there. And not only that, this is very real. And it's sitting right next to the Princess Elizabeth Station. Right next to it. So, those are facts. And I wanted to get them out there because there's a lot of mystery structures in Antarctica that hold the perfect shape of a pyramid. And of all places for them to set up shop, they choose right here next to one of these spots. So think about it. There's a reason to it. And there's a whole lot more going on underground in Antarctica than what they're saying as well. But interesting stuff when it comes down to the history of this planet, ancient technology, the mysteries. That's of the most super top secret stuff that they keep, but also of the most intriguing, because they go out of the way to try to keep a lid on all the real stuff. But if you guys got anything pertaining to this, let me know. Dabu7yahoo.com. Make sure you're following me over on my other YouTube channel, Dabu777. Make sure you're following me on Twitter as well. I will continue to update with information as I come across it connected to this. I will leave links in the description box below. And until next time, it's just been Dabu7. Much love.